Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Queen's Club for the Super Sunday of first round matches at this year's British Open. My name is Ben Gatenbeek. I'll be talking you through some of the match tonight, the last match here on the East Court. Play still going on, of course, over on the West Court. We've had an absolutely epic day. 6 matches so far, 4 of them have been 5-setters, so apologies for running almost 2 hours behind schedule. But it's better starting the last match just before 7 than starting it at 10 or 11 o'clock as we have done in the past. We'll look at some of the players for our matchups this evening. Starting with Darren Long, recently moved from Manchester to the head professional position at the Morton Murrell Tennis Court Club. Currently world ranked number 13. Darren was a quarter-finalist at the British Open in 2021. Looking to progress to a similar level. Well, a similar level of progression would be good for him. We consider that a good result. Quarterfinals at the Australian Open this year as well. Coming into this, didn't progress through qualifying at the Champions Trophy, lost the round robin stage. That round robin was won by Nino Marola, who himself has just won through in 5 sets against Henry Henman at this year's British Open. And a long string of round of 16 matches, most recently against Nick Howe in 5 sets last year. Tonight he'll be playing against the senior professional from the Petworth House Tennis Club, Lewis Gordon, currently 33 years old, playing with a handicap of 6. Lewis won the Category A Open in 2018 and the Tambour Tour at his home club in 2023. He missed out the Tambour Tour at Petworth this year due to an injury, even though he was due to play. Last time on court at the French Open, lost in 3 sets to Leon Smart. That win against Neil Mackenzie was only one on that list. Neil didn't really show up at that particular tournament, at the Champions Trophy qualifying, and lost in 5 sets to Nino Marola this time last year. On the head-to-head, Darren leads 7-2. They've not previously played at the British Open. Darren winning the last 3 encounters, most recently at the US Pro Satellite quarterfinal in Newport. Lewis's win there in 2021 coming at his home court, where he has a considerable home court advantage. So on the handicap and on the head-to-head, the advantage goes to Darren. But as we've seen with Lewis in the past, when he's on form, he can be devastating. In the Marcus chair tonight will be Ben Taylor-Matthews, head professional at the Bristol Real Tennis Club. This marked the previous 5-set match between Woods Casey and Chisholm. Looks like Darren will be serving first. And we are underway. And that particular shot is something that we will probably see a fair bit of this evening. Lewis is renowned for his big force. So Darren just trying to put in some railroads here, trying to cut down options for that force. Two that have hugged that battery wall. If you can get it tight, that serve coming back in, then just means that Lewis can't get quite as big of a swing on it because the wall's in the way. So 2 hazard chases here. A little bit of scrappy tennis to start off with. Both players still just warming up. A few shots going high on the penthouse. Darren as well is a renowned target hitter, especially when he was the head pro at Manchester. The inconsistencies of that court really encourage target hitting. There's the first of the dead-ons to Lewis Gordon. Those target counts have the potential to get quite high tonight. Any serve that's loose is going exactly where that ball went. Not really a surprise to see Lewis coming out and hitting these big forces straight away. Everybody kind of knows that's his plan A and plan B and plan C. So he has got a bit of pace on them tonight. Darren just switching up the serve, throwing in a few underarm twists. And really only has 3 serves that he serves with any kind of regularity. That railroad, an underarm twist, and a kind of a sidewall, kind of a demi-PK. It's very rare to see him serving high serves or full PKs or even bobbles. And Darren opens his dead-on account for this evening. Oh, that very nearly came back over as well. Ball just caught a little bit of the main wall. Darren had to reach behind him to get it. Didn't have enough strength on the volley. Ball's coming quite quick off that back wall at the moment. These fresh new balls. Seeing that shot that's been main wall missing the dead on low or deep main wall. Quite difficult to deal with at times tonight in the course of the matches we've had so far. Darren hasn't quite found a way to stop the forces coming yet. And for the moment, they're accurate enough that he does need to find a way to. He can't just rely on being able to volley them out. Match definitely isn't a traditional textbook style of real tennis. Gordon very keen to be forcing absolutely everything that he can at the moment. He has been on target aside from the first couple of points. So why not continue? What can Darren Long do to counteract it? Oh, that's just rolled out the back neck. Darren was expecting that to kick back up into that wall, and it's just absolutely rolled. Very long chases so far in this match. Once they've been driven at the back wall, coming out to around about a yard worse than last, and a few hazards as well. Not like the previous match where we saw lots of cut into the corners. There's hardly been a ball that's been cut so far. That will win the chase. It's gone into the gallery. It's on last gallery. Darren needs to find a plan for this. It's just constant drives and forces. Neither of these two players are particularly well renowned for adjusting their game plan mid-match. They very much have their style and are just going to play it. It's a little bit of a case of who will break first.
Server, better than 3. Won it. 15-14.
So 3 games all now. Still not a lot of variation from Gordon. Just really going all in on the forces and those big volleys. Not really a question of what's going to happen, it's just can you deal with it? At the moment, Darren isn't dealing with it as well as he might. He's making a lot of strange errors at the moment, like that one. He hasn't really found a way to serve.
40-30.
It doesn't just feed into Gordon's hitting game yet. Because even when Gordon's not getting the dead on the first point, he's putting Long under so much pressure on that first volley. He's able to really control the point from thereafter.
Chase 2. Advantage. One chase.
A little bit relentless. Constant barrage. We saw in the Category A's in Manchester a match between Lewis Williams and Darren Long that had some 70-something winning openings
Chase 2.
in a 3-set match. It was just a constant barrage of targets. So it is on this match as well.
Worse than 2. Game. 4 games, 3 70.
That's somehow found a winning gallery. A bit more luck than anything. Played the ball off the volley like that into the main wall. It can kind of go anywhere. Between the two of them, Gordon will be much happier with how this set has gone so far. The play has really been in his style, running according to his game plan. Even when Darren is getting into these longer points, he's not really taking an advantage of them. We've run out of balls, so we'll just collect up some more. While they collect up the balls, let's have a quick look over at the West Court.
I mean, I'm sure there will be emotions. Will we see them? That's the question. That's loose.
It was nervy, that was tentative.
What does Zach do with it though? Thing. Oh, and it's good enough.
30 all, 5 all, 30 all. We'll race to 30 lovely.
Nick Jones calling juice. Molly said he's winning. I think it was.
5 all, 30 all.
Shot.
That's a great ball. Very good composure
What he does.
to set up match point to win 6-5 in the 5th against the same opponent 2 years in a row. Can he do it?
Back on at the eSport. tell you that the match point has been saved by Will Flynn. He's brought up his own.
Chase 2.
So, all of a sudden, Lewis Gordon now has a set point. And he, again, will be very happy with how the set has gone. Darren just has not found a way to counteract Lewis's force. That's the main storyline of this match so far.
Lost the chase. 15-40.
Saves the first set point, 2 more to go.
Game and the first set will see that 6 games to 3.
Lewis will be very happy with that. Takes the first set 6-3. Not sure what's happened to our scoreboard. We'll endeavour to bring that back to you. There we go. Darren looks completely out of ideas at the moment. Lewis is just absolutely eating up all of these big points. Got so much time off that back wall. Racket up in apology. That ball that's just come back down flush with the back wall. Oh, how's he done that? How has he done that? He's just completely gone over his head backwards and somehow won a point.
15-14. Game. Server leads. 2 games to love.
More fortune for Darren now. It's the first 2 games of the second set. Still doesn't really look like he's got much of a plan. It's just that his defence has gotten a little bit crisper. fantastic volley by Darren. Just set off the back wall. Got himself around it and hits his second grill of the match. That's gone in into the dead on. All sorts of targets being hit from all sorts of places. Just missed low. Let's have a look at this one from a few moments ago from Darren. Oh, how's he done that? And just to bring you an update, this from the West Court. Third attempt, both players had match points. With an ace, Zach Edel takes the match in 5 sets. Darren's just playing with a bit more freedom now than he was in the first set. He's playing more of his game, not letting Gordon dominate quite so much with that force. And the mistakes are starting to come from Lewis Gordon. All of a sudden, looking like he could hit anything in the dead on. Lewis Gordon struggling to hit anything over the net. It's not been exactly pretty tennis, this. It's been very rough and hard hitting, but we kind of knew that going into it. The first set moved quite quickly. The second set is moving very quickly as well. 4-love now to Darren. Barely half an hour into the match, we're already 1 set 4-love in. Not been that many long rallies. match that we saw with Long and Williams at the T&RAs in Manchester, one of the things that was strange about it is neither of them actually put rapid on defending the dead on all that much. Just we see it, Gordon leave one there. Now Long has a point for a 5-love lead in the second set. A very strange match so far. Gordon with an early onslaught. Just seems to have lost its way a bit in this second set, as Long looks to consolidate his position.
Server leads, chase the around the goal. Better than the goal,
Yeah, good change up from Darren. Looked like he was going to go down the line again and just dragged his body around the ball. Big boast. 5-love now. Those shots in the first set were going in. This has gone much more like Long's typical play style. So that's out for a fault. The first set was very much Gordon's. Rallies are lasting 3 or 4 strokes and then ending in a target. That's more like Darren. If it's going straight in after 1 stroke, that's more like Lewis. Can't be giving Gordon loose balls like that. 10 dead-ons already in this match. It's a bit of a disappointment for him because now he can't hit anymore. As the players collect up the balls. This is the reminder, this is the last match of the evening. The match between Vaughan Hamilton and James Medlow is just about to start. There will be a streaming link for that available very, very soon. And that's over on the West Court, so do check that out.
Are we insured for that?
Just talking about some kind of damage to the court on that last ball that went in. Can't tell exactly what it was from our camera angles.
on it. 30-40.
This is the end where Gordon has looked under so much more pressure down the serving end. He doesn't really have a way of manufacturing points like he does at the hazard end, where he can just smack it at the dead on. Now the good change up by Darren. Gordon just looks a little bit laboured there. I'm not sure if there's a muscle soreness or something. Not quite as sprightly as he can be.
First chase, more than yard.
More than yard worse is the first chase. How strange seeing Gordon try and cut it into the corner. So 1 and 2. I think we know where this one's trying to go. And it is not good. Back to Deuce. The ball comes with so much pace to it. Darren barely had any time to get his feet out of the way. Gordon takes a game. He will not get bageled.
Left receiver, worse than a yard. Stick, 15-30, chase better than 3.
So Darren takes that set. Looked really dominant all the way through it. And he'll just continue now on his merry way.
Better than 3, 15 love. Second gallery, 2 chases, 15 love.
Let's see some of the stats from that set. Just 17 minutes to complete that set. With 5 dead-ons to Lewis Gordon, that needs to get higher. Really struggling down that service end, just 33% of serves won.
50 love server, better than 3. 30 love, second gallery.
It's a card that really, really looks good for Darren. And he looks to be continuing his fine form. After taking that first set, the one-way traffic continues. Darren in complete control of the match now. Gordon will try and hit a few more dead-ons, but it's just not been enough in order to really trouble Darren in this second and third set. Oh, that's an incredible shot. Threatening to go chase the line, somehow gets his racket through it without touching the net.
Chase.
It's not all that much variation in the points here. Gordon needs to be winning the points in the first 2 or 3 strokes. As soon as it's going longer, he's really struggling. Especially at the serving end, he doesn't really have a plan. It's all getting to him a little bit now. His head is absolutely slumped in his shoulders. That rally was so unlike anything else we've had this match. It's a casual little backhand to backhand exchange. You just feel like in those exchanges, Gordon is not doing well. He's more likely to come out second best with an error or a change up from long. That stayed in.
Chases. 30-15.
So do put your comments in the live chat. We do love hearing from you. Wherever you are watching around the world, what have you made of Super Saturday here at the British Open? Has it been a good change? Always keen to hear your thoughts. It's been a very well attended first day of the British Open. We've had good crowds in for both courts. Can't quite beat that worse than the yard chase. Instead, we'll happily take a second gallery. So, chance for Gordon to get on the board here in the third set. The second gallery to defend should be easily doable. He's just trying to check himself on the screen. There is a monitor in the dead on, so the crowd can see what you're seeing on the live coverage. Second gallery of the chase. Can't beat it, so doesn't like that one either. Darren just can't afford to be putting the ball on the penthouse like that. That's where Gordon really can strike. So, poor shot there from Darren gives Gordon his opening and a chance to try and dull this momentum. Not if he leaves dead ons open like that, he can't. So Lewis has thrown his racket up in the air there to try and hit that ball. If the racket had touched the ball, it would not have counted. Not sure what the ruling would have been, because it would have prevented a chase being laid, and in any case, or would it have deflected? Yeah, not exactly sure what the ruling would have been. As we will look Yeah. So if the ball had hit the racket and gone back over the net, would it have been a stroke to Darren or to Lewis? Do let us know what you think. And if the ball had hit the racket and then deflected to a chase, would it have been a stroke or a chase? I'm not at all sure which way the ruling would go on that one. Darren can get put under pressure in that forehand corner if Lewis actually wanted to try and hit it there. Instead he's just going to hit that when he can. That's gone back over for a stroke. Well, that's a bad error from Darren. Had so many opportunities in that rally to put the ball away and just couldn't find that winner. Great volleying off of the timbre by Gordon. And a big back wall boast from Lewis Gordon there. So often you see players, especially someone like Chris Chapman, do that a lot, but doesn't come far over the net. But Gordon hits with so much power, it came back with a fair amount of pace and actually made it a good way over the net. Players just clearing up the balls again. We will have... We won't. Pardon me. Got a comment in from Oxford saying point against Gordo if the ball had hit the racket, regardless of where the ball went. And I can see the argument for that. But even if it was a point against him, he still successfully prevented a chase being laid. So, which is considered... which would still encourage him to do that, even if he knew he was going to lose the point. The same way that you are allowed to touch the net if you do so with the intent of stopping a chase, because if you touch the net intending to stop a chase, it doesn't actually work, because the chase will still get laid.
Game receiver, 3 games to 1, third set.
when Darren has chosen to hit at the dead on, he has done so very well. Has hit it most times. Unlike when Gordon has gone for it, he has missed high a few times, and that can be worse than just chipping into the corner and waiting for a better ball to hit. Lewis just leaves the opening on that dead on so much. Yeah, we'll talk about Lewis's target hitting, but Darren's target hitting is right up there too. And if you're just going to leave the ball coming off the back wall like that, then you kind of suspect that that's where it's going to end up. As we're racing through this set as well. Darren had the upper hand in that rally, just couldn't find a finishing ball on it. Can't be serving short like that. Fortunate that the force was high. He had width to play it, but he just can't be serving that short. Good variation from Lewis. Decided he is going to actually play a few into the corners. Earlier on in this match, successfully in the first set, unsuccessfully in the second set, he was playing that down the middle. So I'm actually putting it into the corners, which I do like to see when Lewis is playing those corners. That's very high. That's not going to be better than 2. Now it's a yard. And same result. Gordon looks quite vulnerable in those backhand exchanges. Doesn't quite have a way of getting out of them. Just Kind of looking for a way for Darren to make a mistake.
Better than second gallery. 30 all. Better than second gallery twice. 30 all.
Seen a lot of long chases so far this match. A lot of chases around the last gallery, the second gallery mark. Those balls that have been hit onto the back wall and coming out. Very few in those short numbered chases.
Better than second gallery. 30 all. Chase better than second gallery.
Darren hasn't found the grill as much as he perhaps might like. I know there's 7 grills on there, but we would have expected him to be into double figures by now.
Serves advantage.
This for a 4-2 lead. Just a bit of court cleaning.
Second gallery.
Another one of those big drives, laying a long chase. Been very much one of the patterns in this match. Can't say we were expecting much different.
Better than second gallery advantage. Deuce. More than a yard worse than the last gallery, Deuce. Less than 2. 2 chases, Deuce.
Really is very much one speed at the moment, and has been kind of throughout this match. Lewis, I think, is the player who has changed the most. He was exclusively looking at forces the first part, now he's looking to get into a few more rallies. That's kind of playing into Darren's hands if he can avoid those unforced errors. Oh, and that nearly snuck over too.
Advantage better than 2. It's off. Then better than 2. Advantage receiver. Serves advantage.
although he's expecting the volley to come, Darren, rather expecting the force to come, Darren hasn't really been able to execute his volleys in a way that puts Gordon under consistent pressure over the course of this set.
Advantage on chase.
Advantage back to Darren. 3-2 here in this third set, best of 5. Still looks like the kind of tennis that Darren would prefer to be playing. Getting into these mid-length rallies. Problem is he's not always been able to execute them the whole way through. You can see he's frustrated with himself after that one as well.
Advantage server. Better than 2.
Like that last shot from Darren, just putting it into the corner, is, I think, more successful putting Gordon under pressure than trying to win it on the volley. Okay, it's advantage to Gordon now, this long deuce exchange. better than 2. And he knows one way to beat better than 2, and that's with the force. Let's see if he can execute it.
Lost it. Deuce.
Just tip the net tape on the way through. Took a bit of momentum out of it. Darren had several opportunities in that rally to really put the ball away and just could not find it. Really quite scrappy tennis throughout the match tonight from both players. Lewis just not 100% on his radar on those forces, and Darren just not being able to finish the points like he normally might. Normally he can find a grill from somewhere, but just hasn't been able to. Seventh deuce. Neither player really able to press home any sort of advantage at the moment.
Advantage receiver.
Gordon gets a bit of his own medicine. And that's just spun off the battery wall. Gordon was expecting it to come up above the last gallery ledge. That's why he swung at it. Just kicked off that ledge late. Well, not the ledge, but the wall late. Couldn't quite read it. Worse than last gallery, the chase.
Advantage worse than the last.
Finally, Long gets the break. 4-2 up now. 2 more games to close out the set. Going 2-1 down would quite demoralise Gordon. This has kind of been typical of the tennis we've seen so far this evening. Darren just really hasn't been able to get some of those fundamentals right from the service end. That's why he's let Gordon into the match so much. Frustrated with that one. That's come off the timbre out for a hazard chase. There's that one just sent him the wrong way. Gordon did well to recover on that volley close to the back wall, but was not enough.
Well, I don't know which way it is.
Same bit. I know what you mean, thank you.
Not all courts have half-yard lines between the galleries.
Hazard chase, 1 and 2.
Just querying how Ben was going to call that. All in good spirits, as is typically the case with these. That's up, out of court. Hasn't. Actually, I think that might have gone into the back wall above the back viewing gallery here at Queen's.
On it. 40-30.
I really feel like Long should be really putting this match to the sword. He just hasn't been able to. A lot of uncharacteristic errors.
Better than second. 2 chases.
Players collecting up the balls again. Hasn't actually been too many changes of ends. Normally, if you've got lots of changes of ends, you have lots of opportunities for the balls to make their way back to the back of the court. Had to collect them quite a few times now. Four, 2 and 2 long chases here. Both players have been stretching themselves out a bit as well. A few niggles for each of them.
Advantage server, better than second gallery. On it. Advantage receiver.
Just keep just waiting for one of these two players to really break away with it, and just they aren't quite pressing any sort of advantage in this match yet.
Worse than 3.
Looks like he might have had a little bit of vertigo or something there. He is 4-2 up. I can't imagine he'd be entirely happy with how this match has gone.
Advantage server.
Not had the best season, Darren. I was just expecting that one to hit into the net on the way through. Caught him flat-footed. Gordon has done well to hang in there, but you know he's got the skill as well to press an advantage. He hasn't been able to do it either.
Worse than 6.
Just an update from the West Court. This was moments ago. Or something there in the match between Medlow and Hamilton. Hamilton did have a 5-1 lead. A couple of set points at 5-1. It's 4-2 up, I think. It's just managed to close out that first set entirely happy with how this 3. So that's the first set on the West Court to Hamilton. Returning now to the East Court. We're in the third set. As Gordon levels it all up at 4-all. He's done well to get back in this match. He was looking at all sorts in the second set.
15 low.
Ooh.
30 low.
Crafty little winning gallery from Darren on the boast.
30. Easy yard worse than the last.
All of a sudden, Gordon has a small lead in this set again. Darren is looking a bit at sea at the moment. Really had a good period where he's been completely dominant in the play. Yes, that did win that second set quite quickly, but that was more because of Gordon's errors. Long just hasn't really found his shots. Back to deuce.
Second gallery, deuce.
Long just can't really find a way to get ahead in the rallies. Gordon is holding his own right now. Looking a bit more confident than he was 20 minutes or so ago.
Advantage receiver, second gallery. Deuce. Deuce.
Gordon's forcing again. And Long just can't really find a way to stop the force, or if the force is going to be there, make it not a good one. Stretching out there. He doesn't look like he's 100% fit either at the moment.
Service advantage.
Not sure
chase the
if there is a
door.
niggle, or if there is one, what it might be. This has been one of those topsy-turvy sets with just a ton of those dead-ons from both players.
It's the first gallery. Deuce.
I think if you're going to sum up this match in 1 point, that would be it. Missed balls high, then something fluky happening.
Excellent second gallery, two chases.
Sorry if I sound a bit cynical about it all, but if you're going to play this style, you really have to be completely dominant in it, such that when you come up against an opposition who can play against it, then you need to be able to press home that advantage, and many of these players really are at the moment. Darren just clutching his back again. That is a wild rally, and Darren's down. This is not good. Looks in a bit of discomfort. Gordon was offering to go help out,
Advantage receiver,
but he's going to carry on.
better
It was a wild attempt to win the chase by smacking it on the high hazard back wall. Just if you play against someone who does have a good defensive volley or can really nail down the winning shots, if you're going to play like either of them have played tonight, there's just no way forward. And this is why I'm a bit critical of it. If you're going to play this way, you have to dominate with it. There's no being at 80%. You have to be 100% all in and being able to execute it. Yet another error. Darren looking like he'd rather be anywhere else. It doesn't help that most of the crowd has filtered over to the west court as well. I've looked in a fair bit of discomfort, Darren. We're just taking a little bit of an extra bounce on the way through. Gordon was expecting that one to come back into him off that battery ball, just slid back along it instead. Spin the wrong way. Again, Darren had 3 or 4 opportunities to put the ball away in that rally. And just pushing it back, and eventually Gordon comes up with the error. I just want to see more pressure being applied from Darren. It's brought up a set point. Worse than 3 is the chase. Two set points, in fact. Love to know what's going on in Darren's head right now. Cool, was chased off. Darren immediately saying, yeah, no, I agree with that.
Game and the third.
Darren looks exhausted at the moment. End of the third set. Down on his haunches. He's made this a fair bit harder than it needed to be in that third set. Might see Gordon tee off a bit again in this fourth set. Big hill to climb. Have to win 2 sets on the trot. Don't mind Lewis working long into the corners like that. Darren isn't moving entirely freely. And he's looking especially under pressure in that backhand. So, third set lasted 52 minutes. Long average chases. And the only real difference there, Gordon couldn't quite get enough points in that serve. That serve's won 47%. If that was up at more 54, 55, then you'd think he would have taken the set. That's one of the big differences there. Both players would rather be somewhere else right now. Seeing Gordon keep up the game a bit in the past in positions like this. Just kind of tossing the ball up there on the serve. Champions Trophy, he was quick serving Shankman in their qualifying match when he was 7-1 down, or 7-love down rather. First ones were okay, but Darren just had to lob him at the end. You see both players remarking on the rally. As unorthodox as it was. And now better than a yard. It was a good reaction in the first one. It's just more of a double shot where you can have a partner who's behind you. But if you're up that far, you just leave yourself so exposed to the lob, or not having the pace to get back to the back of the court in time. Darren did well to pick up both of them. That won't do. Copy and paste those last two shots. Caught the winning gallery ledge. If it's gone deep, just didn't have enough bite on it to really trouble Gordon. Long consider himself lucky there.
Less than 5, 15, 30. Less than 6, 2 chases.
Mustn't be fun to be having to volley those forces all day long. You can see just from the body language of both of the players. Just don't look like they want to be there. Did have some good crowds earlier in the day for some of the earlier matches, but it's gone quiet at Queen's Club. People have gone home for the evening as we have what could be the final set here on the East Court. A few people still out on the West with Medlow and Hamilton. Do head over there if you want to watch that match. That is also on the T&RA media channel. Don't forget there are tickets available all the way through the tournament still. If you do fancy coming and watching some of the great tennis over the rest of the week, go to the tennisandrackets.com website. Or you can buy your tickets at the door here at Queen's Club. Do come down if you are in London. I really feel like there's been so many opportunities for Long to just press an advantage and just has not been able to.
More than a yard worse than the last gallery.
See, yet another dead on, the 33rd of this match. Which equates to probably around about 1 in 6 points of the match have ended in dead-ons so far.
Chase.
So Long comes back down the serving end. And so just build a bit of a lead in this fourth set. Wants to get off court as quickly as he can. Still just can't quite nail home this advantage, Darren. 40-15 up. It's now conceded a worse than 3 chase. Second time a worse than 3 has been chased off in this match. He shouldn't be getting chase offs at that length. He really should be playing them. Just don't feel like the force is the right option there. Ball's there to be hit into the corners. Ball called down. Just can't quite believe he's let that one go. Gordon just giving that ball a big thwack. Polite reminder from the marker. Just a quick update from the West Court. We have seen the conclusion of the second set between Medlow and Hamilton. Hamilton now takes a 2-love lead. And is looking strong to close out the match. Hamilton did have a little bit of an advantage early on, and it looked like he might come back into it, but ultimately hold tight to finish. That's a bad miss at the galleries from Darren. Big opening there to try and hit those galleries. Just can't be affording to hit that high. Worse than last now, the chase. That one's just tipped over.
Second gallery, 2 chases.
Darren can consider himself a little bit fortunate, but he got the chase in the end. Now comes to the service end, looking for a 2-game lead in this 4th set. Looks like there's a lot of work to do uphill if Gordon is going to get back into this match. That's come off one of the cameras. That's in the dead on. Darren just 3 games away now from a place in the round of 16.
Second gallery. Best of the door. 2 chases.
Winner of this match will take on 13-time world champion Rob Fay in the round of 16,
Second gallery level.
who has famously retired and is enjoying his retirement by playing a full singles and a doubles tournament.
15 love. Better than the door. 15 all.
When I asked him at the Champions Trophy how his retirement was going, he said he retired from best of 5 set tournaments, so that's working out well.
2 chases. 30 all.
Again, we're seeing a lot of those chases around that yard worse than last length. Just those drives at the neck coming a long way off of the back wall. It's not been a lot of Nice cutting into the corners, 2 bounces before the back wall, as we saw in the match between Woods Casey and Chisholm earlier.
A yard worse than the last gathering. Ready on.
Darren just searching for that grill. About 3 or 4 shots and it just couldn't seem to find it. Still wins the point in the end, but it's going to have a good showing against Faye in the next round if he should make it that far. Going to have to improve on this. Still looks very tired and a bit sore. I saw him clutching his back earlier. Hasn't quite looked 100% here tonight, even though he is in the lead in the match. Darren's done well on that worse than 3. Just managed to find a really good length through the whole of the point. We know he can do, he just hasn't done it in open play yet. A big ball that came off of the high back wall. Darren tried to put that in the dead on. He managed to finish it with the dead on anyway, but it just looks so much better when he's going to cut it into that corner and put Gordon under pressure. It's just kind of feeding Gordon's volley a bit. As the 38th dead on of the match goes in, and that's a ridiculous number.
Worse than a yard.
Just do that. Well, Gordon had moved up the court there. That dead on was definitely open. Didn't need to hit it with quite as much pace. That's 39th. Not quite the 50 we saw between Long and Williams in the Cat A semi-final, but still a very, very high tally. That Cat A semi-final was the best of 3 as well. Big swipe volley came out of nowhere from Gordon. That didn't hit Tam, but that's going up on the high back penthouse, so he can be lucky in that sense. Gordon hits his second winning gallery. When you're up the court that far, it's very much an option. But Long still just 2 games away from the match. So worse than the yard the chase. How much heat can Gordon bring? Well, that's misdirected. That's above the back penthouse, and we're at deuce. Just like to see Gordon put Long under pressure on that backhand more. It's where the errors have come. And he gets dragged into a big offensive shot like that. It's right in doubles when you've got a partner who's consistent and measured and can play those shots, but on your own it's a lot. Two more very long chases. Good shot on a long chase like that. Let's get the ball coming off the back wall with a lot of pace, makes it hard to chase down. Could do something similar here on worse than first. Gordon up, covering the galleries, left the right hand side of the court open. And now 1 game more for Long. Quick serve by Gordon. He's picked up that first volley really well and then just completely destroyed that second. That's what he can do when he's on. It just hasn't been consistent this whole match. Long has been hitting into the backhand corner like that, just without any venom on it. Two chases here. Win both of them and you win the match. It's been a fantastic day of tennis here at Queen's. Matches going on both courts, scheduled for the first time. It has been a large success. Only finishing around 9 o'clock as opposed to in previous years when it's been much closer to midnight, even with a couple of 5-setters on each court. Match point now to Darren. Force was good, but it was a fault. So, lining up again, more than a yard worse. Set point, match point. And that will lose the chase. And the match is over. Darren Long moves into the round of 16, books a place against Robert Fay. And the match featured a whole load of target hitting. 39 dead-ons in the end, 12 grills, 3 winning galleries, 2 hours and 3 minutes
You okay, mate?
for the whole thing. That's it for tennis here on the East Court. There is still a match ongoing on the West Court, so do head over there if you want to keep watching some tennis. That's all on the T&RA media channel, and we will have coverage of the rest of the tournament, starting with the round of 16 tomorrow. From all of us here at Queen's Club, my name's been Ben Gatenbeek. Good night.